Khamzat is working extremely hard, and I mean hard, almost where, I don't miss it. That man is a machine.
The biggest difference that I see between Khamzat Chimaev's training camp and other guys is that he's got a team of dedicated fighters on call, and he likes to train twice a day. It's a really cool thing to experience and to be a part of, because it makes me feel like, yeah, this is what we do. Like, we're fighters. We can do whatever we need to do at any given time.
We train with Khamzat right now. He's preparing for this fight. Huge fight is coming up. I think this fight should be in the White House as well. And if they add him there, would be great, like 3 title fights and Khamzat's there in the White House.
Demetrious Johnson stepped into the cage with a monster and immediately realized he had made a massive mistake. Despite being one of the greatest of all time, the man they call Mighty Mouse was left stunned by the raw, terrifying power radiating from Khamzat Chimaev. Johnson admitted he often forgets he is only 5'3" because he possesses the heart of a giant, but that confidence evaporated the second they locked up. It was a wake-up call that sent shockwaves through the MMA community, as DJ warned that what is happening inside Khamzat's training camp is unlike anything he has ever witnessed in his legendary career.
Look at you from the Santos studio over there. I see you sparring with Khamzat yesterday, doing a little this, a little that. It's an unbelievable thing, a world tour of sorts.
Yeah, we're out here in California. We're at the Jackson Media House. And last night, Khamzat is working extremely hard. And I mean hard, almost where, I don't miss it. That man is a machine. And so after the video just showed, he just got done working out. And then I was teaching. I was working with his team, just kind of showing some stuff I like to do and how I work on my movement. And then Khamzat was like, come on down. Come on, let's move around a little bit. He's so fucking strong and big, man. Like, sometimes I forget that I'm 5'3", but I have a heart of a fucking giant. I'm like, I can fight with him. Yeah, it didn't work out that way.
The training sessions weren't just intense. They were described as a literal machine designed to break human spirits. Johnson watched in awe as Chimaev operated at a level that seemed physically impossible for a normal athlete. What stood out most to the former champion was the environment surrounding the Chechen Wolf. Khamzat isn't just training with high-level partners. He has surrounded himself with an entire squad of undefeated killers who are on call 24 hours a day. DJ was so humbled by the experience that he openly admitted he didn't even feel worthy to be a permanent member of that elite, undefeated team.
Are you a part of the team? Are you a part of the camp, or just doing some training videos with him like we've seen you do with TJ, Armin, and others?
I'm not part of the camp. I'm just out here doing some videos. I got a shoot today with Men's Health, and then some stuff with Jackson and Santo, and he's in town. And I'm gonna work out with him today. I'm gonna join wrestling practice, and we'll create some content. But I'm not worthy to be on that team. Everyone on that team is undefeated. Every single one of them are undefeated. So for me, I'm just here showing some love, bringing some good vibes, good energy, and that's it.
Khamzat's work ethic is so relentless that Demetrious Johnson felt compelled to share the brutal reality of it with the world. He described Chimaev as a machine that never stops, pushing a pace that most professional fighters couldn't dream of maintaining. This isn't just about lifting weights or running miles. It is about a dedicated team of fighters who are essentially at Khamzat's beck and call for twice-a-day sessions. The energy in that room was so heavy that even a veteran like Johnson felt the need to just soak it in rather than try to keep up. It was a glimpse into a level of preparation that borders on the supernatural.
Demetrious, hey, when the champ, three of the UFC's greatest champs right here.
No.
Hey, get a photo of the champ.
Yeah. One belt against I'm at 20 belts.
17?
No, 15.
15, sorry. And you have 5.
That's 20. He was right.
Yeah, that's 20. Yeah. 3 of the greatest UFC champions of all time.
Yeah, good pace. We were watching in there. Good pace, real good pace.
I felt bad for your training partner. I felt bad.
But Johnson wasn't the only one left reeling from the experience of training with the undefeated star. Khalil Roundtree Jr. recently shared his own harrowing account of what it's like to be on the receiving end of Khamzat's aggression. During a particularly savage sparring session, Chimaev unleashed his raw power with such dominance that he was literally hurling Roundtree across the mat like a rag doll. The situation became so overwhelming that Roundtree, a seasoned and dangerous striker in his own right, actually found himself shouting for Khamzat to leave him alone. It was a moment of pure vulnerability for a top-tier athlete.
Come on, get him, 10, let's go, get him, 9, 8, come on, Khamzat, 8, 7, get him, 5, got it, yeah, woo, 9, 4, all right, that's good training.
For Roundtree, the experience was a painful wake-up call that forced him to rethink his entire approach to the sport. He described the sessions as deeply humbling, admitting there were moments where he began to question everything he believed about his own fitness and mental toughness. Facing a workout led by Chimaev makes even the most elite fighters realize how much further they have to go. Roundtree walked away from the camp exhausted and bruised, but with a newfound respect for the discipline required to reach the very top. He realized that what some call overtraining is actually just the standard for a champion.
I told him shave the mustache. He had too much. Yeah, then you get all the grappling power. Shave the mustache. Strong, dude. You gotta go into the ways, dude. Leave me alone! That's a verbal tap.
The sheer consistency of Khamzat's dedication is what truly sets him apart from the rest of the roster. While many fighters cycle through periods of high intensity, Chimaev lives in that red zone every single day. Roundtree emphasized that this unwavering discipline is what molds a fighter into a true legend. It is a level of commitment that few can match, and it's the primary reason behind his unblemished record in the cage. As the world looks toward his next massive fight, the stories leaking out of his camp suggest that he is preparing to unleash a version of himself that we have never seen before.
Very intense. Everything that I expected. I knew that it was going to be a push. I knew that I was going to come in here and do my absolute best, but yeah, it was painful. There were definitely moments where I would call them humbling, because it makes me just question certain things that I even say about myself. Sometimes I think I'm really good or in good shape, and then I face a workout like this and it makes me realize that there's so much more to go. And so it's eye-opening, and overall good. Strong group of people, strong group of guys, strong coaches. Man, I'm exhausted, but we're gonna go to the beach now. Good recovery.
As the highly anticipated showdown with Sean Strickland looms, the MMA world is divided on how the clash of styles will play out. On one hand, you have the explosive, wrestling-heavy onslaught of Chimaev, and on the other, the methodical, high-volume pressure of Strickland. Chael Sonnen recently weighed in with a surprising take, stating that he would be genuinely shocked if Khamzat managed to finish Strickland quickly. Chael believes that Sean is uniquely built for long, grueling matches that test a fighter's soul, which could be the ultimate kryptonite for a frontrunner like Khamzat, who relies on early dominance.
The biggest difference that I see between Khamzat Chimaev's training camp and other guys is that he's got a team of dedicated fighters on call, and he likes to train twice a day. It's a really cool thing to experience and to be a part of, because it makes me feel like, yeah, this is what we do. Like, we're fighters. We can do whatever we need to do at any given time.
Strickland is a fighter who thrives when the pressure is at its highest and the expectations are at their lowest. Chael pointed out that Sean often does his best work when he is counted out by the fans and the betting odds. He cited the fight against Israel Adesanya as a prime example, where Strickland defied a 6-1 underdog status to win every single round. There is something about the relief of being the underdog that allows Sean to rise to the occasion. If the fight goes into the deep waters of the later rounds, the momentum might shift dramatically away from the man who trains twice a day in a savage camp.
Would you be surprised if Khamzat beat Sean in 2 minutes?
Yes. If he got him out of there quickly, that would surprise me. If he finished him at all, it would surprise me. Strickland is made for long distance hard matches.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I've seen many of them.
Strickland does his best work, by the way, when he's counted out. And he doesn't get counted out a lot, but, like, I mean, he was a 6-1 underdog against Izzy. He's only a 4-1 underdog here. He won all 5 rounds against Izzy. Like, there's something about that relieving of pressure and expectation that Sean rises to I don't know how that fight's going to go, but I do. Yeah, Sean's the guy for sure.
Yeah.
If Sean's not the best fighter in the world, he's the second best.
Joe Rogan and Dustin Poirier also sat down to analyze this fascinating matchup, focusing heavily on Strickland's unorthodox standing game. Rogan described Sean as a standing nightmare, someone who forces opponents to fight at a much slower, more methodical pace than they are comfortable with. He doesn't try to blast you out of there with one shot. Instead, he chips away at your defense with a precise jab and a high guard. Dustin agreed, noting that the best way to beat someone like Strickland is to use blitzes or unorthodox strikes to break his rhythm, because once he finds his timing, he is nearly impossible to hit.
Tell you the fight that I'm really looking forward to, because I don't know what's going to happen, is Khamzat versus Strickland. I'm very interested in that fight. Strickland is a fucking nightmare standing up.
For sure.
He's a nightmare.
For sure.
What he did to Fluffy Hernandez, I was like, holy man.
The body shot, the finish, but he made Fluffy fight. You know, he fights at a slower pace. He has his own pace in there, and he kind of forces the other guy to fight. His opponent has to fight this pace with him. I think the best chance is to blitz him, do unorthodox things, because he wants to jab, circle, throw a kick, jab, circle. He keeps a very slow pace. He's not sprinting or trying to blast you out of there. He just
he doesn't get hit much.
Chips away, high guard, good shell.
Yeah, very good shell.
A huge reason for Strickland's incredible durability and timing is his legendary obsession with sparring. Unlike most fighters who focus on specific drills or strength and conditioning, Sean's cardio is almost entirely built through live rounds. Rogan compared him to boxing legend James Toney, who was notoriously hard to hit because all he ever did was spar. This constant exposure to distance, timing, and pattern recognition makes Sean's defensive instincts razor sharp. He doesn't get tired in the cage because he spends his entire life in that environment, making him a very dangerous puzzle for Khamzat to solve.
And that is true. Like, if you think about how much that guy spars, it's a giant part of his training.
Look at James Toney. He was hard. He was hard to hit, and all he did was spar.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Perfect example.
There's something taught in those moments.
100%.
Yeah.
Understanding of distance, timing, pattern recognition. You're constantly in there, moving around.
Right.
It's like, and then there's also the cardio that comes from sparring.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
Like, because his cardio is almost entirely based on sparring. And, man, that motherfucker doesn't get tired in there.
Right.
And the Fluffy fight was like, I thought Fluffy was going to be a problem. I'm like, Fluffy's really good, man. You think he submitted Adolfo Vieira. He's got all this fucking crazy cardio. He puts a pace on guys. And Strickland made it look like he just did not belong in there.
He's so heavy on that front foot, though. I can't believe guys aren't smashing that calf, man.
I know. Well, he's hard to hit, man. And he also knows how to do that fucking... that hacky sack thing where, you know, like you're bending your knee upwards. You know what I mean?
To check it?
Yeah, well, you don't even check it. You just...
Even when Strickland appears to be in a vulnerable position, his subtle defensive tricks keep him safe. Many observers have pointed out how heavy he stays on his front foot, which should theoretically make him an easy target for calf kicks. However, Rogan explained that Sean uses a unique hacky sack style leg lift to check kicks without even needing to plant his weight. This level of technical nuance, combined with his extraordinary cardio, makes him a frustrating opponent for anyone. The question remains whether Khamzat's raw strength can overpower this calculated defensive system in the opening minutes.
Huge fight coming up, Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. Who do you favor?
You know what? It's hard for you to not. I've counted out Khamzat a lot. If Sean Strickland, the American badass, could defend his takedown, I think it's Sean Strickland. But that's the key. Is could he get up? And I feel like, man, it's not that I don't know. I just don't like betting on shit that I just don't know. And it doesn't come down to Khamzat. It comes down to Sean. You know what I'm saying? Because then Sean has to make those adjustments. Khamzat's gonna boom, in the first 10 seconds of the fight. And if he gets that going and Sean has no answer, it's going to be the same thing as...
Henry Cejudo believes the entire fight hinges on the first 10 seconds of the match. He analyzed the matchup by stating that if Strickland can defend the initial takedown attempts and survive the early explosion, the momentum will swing in his favor. However, if Khamzat secures a dominant position early and Sean has no answers for the pressure, it could be a very short night. Cejudo compared the potential outcome to Dricus Du Plessis' experience, where the sheer intensity of the grappling became too much to handle. It's a high-stakes game of chess where one mistake in the opening exchange could end it all.
You know, I know Imamov and Khamzat kind of don't want to fight each other. I'm not really excited for that fight. Not a lot of people are, but the Strickland fight, I believe I faced Strickland. In the striking, he definitely beats Khamzat for sure. Khamzat, a problem to deal with when he has you on your back. We've seen that many times. With Strickland, what he does brilliantly, I took Strickland down, I think 7 times. The way he gets up to holding down is incredibly hard. At Extreme Couture, where they train, they specialize in that cage wrestling and getting back to his feet. And Strickland's a lot stronger than people might think. I think he has a very good chance in that fight.
Colby Covington, never one to shy away from a bold prediction, has a much more cynical view of the fight. He anticipates that Khamzat will cruise to an easy victory, claiming that Sean Strickland is at the end of his career and simply looking for one last payday. Colby believes that Chimaev's wrestling will be far too much for Sean to handle, leading to a dominant performance that makes the American look outclassed. While many see this as a competitive war, Colby is convinced that the skill gap on the ground will turn this into a one-sided affair that solidifies Khamzat as the top threat in the division.
Does he beat Sean Strickland?
I think he beats Sean, yeah. I think that Sean's, at the end of his career looking for one last paycheck, so I think he takes him down and makes it look pretty easy.
Aljamain Sterling offered a more balanced perspective, leaning toward Khamzat as the favorite due to his evolving skill set and new coaching staff. Sterling noted that while Chimaev used to struggle with gassing out in later rounds, his recent training suggests he has fixed those endurance issues. However, Aljo also pointed out that Strickland's vocal desire for this fight suggests he sees a weakness that others might be missing. If Sean can drag Khamzat into a dogfight and force him to work for every inch, we might see an upset that shocks the world. It's a fight where the favorite is clear, but the underdog is dangerous.
I would imagine the favorite coming into this would be Khamzat by obvious reasons. But I know these guys train with each other a bunch. And Strickland was very vocal in trying to get this fight. And it leads me to believe that there's something there that he feels he can kind of take advantage of.
Yeah.
But I would imagine the Khamzat that wasn't training the way he's training now, with the new coaches that he has and all that, where he kind of gasses out a little bit, that would be a more favorable matchup for Strickland. But now, like, even in the matchup with DDP, he was able to show that he can go 5 rounds. So that's a tough one for me. It's really a toss-up. If I had a bet, I would go with the favorite. But I wouldn't be surprised if Strickland was able to surprise us.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my 2 cents on that, and I'm looking forward to the fight.
While the world focuses on Khamzat, another massive story has sent shockwaves through the sport. Joe Pyfer recently made history by handing Israel Adesanya his 4th consecutive loss, a result that many fans found absolutely heartbreaking. It was a reminder of how ungrateful the sport of MMA can be, even to its greatest legends. After the first round, it looked like Izzy was back to his sharp, dominant self, but the momentum shifted in an instant. The defeat has led many to question what is left for the stylebender, and whether he should continue to put his health on the line after such a legendary run.
I still think that he understands acutely who he is, what type of mixed martial arts athlete he is, and on any given Saturday night, just how good he can be. He won the first round, and I don't have to tell a lot of MMA fighters. I know sometimes people suggest the calf kick game is a toughness quotient, but one of those things hits in the wrong place, and all of a sudden Joe Pyfer's whole fight changes, and maybe we have a different Monday morning quarterback conversation. So I still believe in Izzy. I'm not saying that, to garner headlines. I still believe in him as a high-level athlete, even though the resume says what it says. And, I think some people, Kenny Florian on our podcast suggested that maybe relative to a prime Adesanya, he's lost a step, at least in terms of the footwork or the speed, but
the sight of Adesanya suffering another loss was a tough pill to swallow for the entire MMA community. John Anik emphasized that, while the resume shows a skid, Izzy still knows exactly who he is as an athlete, and can be elite on any given night. He pointed out that a single calf kick or a bad position can change everything in a fight, which is exactly what happened against Pyfer. Despite the critics, Anik still believes in Izzy's high-level abilities, even if some suggest he has lost a step in terms of footwork and speed. The debate over his future is now the loudest it has ever been.
I did watch that. 4-fight losing streak to some of the best guys in the world. Lost to Sean Strickland, lost to DDP,
Imavov,
lost to Imavov, lost to Joe Pyfer.
He looked good though at first.
He does, right? He did his other fight against DDP.
His weigh-in,
great.
his cuts, so he looked rough.
Dude, I mean,
he looked like death. And
he didn't seem like. I mean, I was like, damn, I wonder if he's gonna be done. Got on the mic after. He's not done. He's not gonna quit. Not gonna leave the sport. It's sad to see. I do like Joe Pyfer. I think he's got a cool story. He's come up on a contender. He's got a lot of potential. But it's like, dude, Izzy's like watching one of your idols.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was hard to see.
How'd the first? I didn't watch. How'd the first round go?
He looked good, bro. He looked sharp. Hit him with a nice knee. Fucking like had a good round. Got taken down at the end. But I was like, God, dude, and like I was surprised at the distance he was standing. He was like standing kind of in like in Joe Pyfer's range. And they were trading. He got cracked with some big shots, and just fucking got mounted to.
Demetrious Johnson didn't hold back when asked about Adesanya's future or lack thereof. He urged the former champion to walk away from the sport immediately, arguing that there is nothing left for him to achieve. Izzy has reached the pinnacle of mixed martial arts and kickboxing, and DJ believes he deserves to relax and enjoy the fruits of his labor. For Johnson, fighting should be about money and the intellectual challenge of the game, but once you have the wealth and have solved the puzzles, the risk to your health becomes too great. He wants to see Izzy retire before the damage becomes irreversible.
For me, so when I see him fight, I'm like, God, you don't need a fight, right? And he's still young, he's only 36, but yeah, I was gutted.
Do you think he should retire?
I would, if I was him. I would. I mean, there's something for me, it's like, why do you fight? Like, first off, why did I fight? For the money. Okay, 2, there's a part of it where it's, okay, I like the chess aspect of like, okay, he's gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, okay. The lifestyle, right? It's good, but if you have the money, you gotta find something else to keep your mind engaged and always learning and thinking. So you can keep on training, you can travel and learn something new. And then and then the health aspect as well. Like, you know, he's got a broken nose. It's like, for me, I would like to see him retire. There's nothing else for him to do in mixed martial arts. I think he's done everything. And you're not even considering the kickboxing matches he's had as well. Like, the man's been on a tear, on a grind. I think he deserves to relax and enjoy himself and find something else. It's like Dustin Poirier.
The grind of the fight game is something that DJ knows all too well. He pointed out that people often forget the years of kickboxing matches Izzy had before he even entered the UFC. The man has been on a relentless tear for over a decade, and the toll that takes on the body and mind is immense. Johnson believes that finding something else to engage the mind is crucial for a retiring fighter. Whether it's traveling, learning a new skill, or simply enjoying life, there is a world outside of the cage that Izzy has yet to fully explore. The warning is clear: don't let the sport take more than it has already given.
Like, people who, even if you go on that long skid at the end of your career, like I just talked to Anderson Silva for that Paramount Plus series that he's having re-released a few weeks ago. Like, the aura is still there. You don't look at the guy. You remember the incredible 16 fight winning streak, all the amazing fights. You don't remember, you know, the losses towards the end. So I think
all of them are like that. Vanderlei's like that. Fedor's like that. All of them. If you're not named Khabib or George St. Pierre, everybody's career ended the same, which is face down and embarrassed. They don't need. That's not how people remember you.
Chael Sonnen added a cold dose of reality to the retirement conversation, noting that very few fighters get a fairy tale ending. Most careers end face down and embarrassed, with the exception of rare outliers like Khabib Nurmagomedov or Georges St. Pierre. Chael argued that even if a fighter goes on a losing streak at the end, it doesn't erase the incredible accomplishments of their prime. People will always remember the 16-fight winning streak and the iconic knockouts, rather than the final few losses. It is a natural cycle in combat sports, but one that is incredibly difficult for the athletes themselves to accept.
Damn, I feel bad for Izzy's fight, man. Unlucky, bro. It's unlucky, you know what I mean? Like, he was looking good, too. It wasn't like nothing. He was looking good. He just got caught in a bad position, man. Sucks.
Sean O'Malley and Max Holloway also shared their sympathy for Adesanya, admitting it was painful to watch one of their idols struggle. O'Malley noted that Izzy looked physically drained during the weight cut, appearing like death before he even stepped into the cage. Despite the loss, Izzy made it clear on the microphone that he is not done and has no plans to quit just yet. Watching a legend go through this kind of skid is a reminder of the fleeting nature of greatness. Even the best in the world eventually find themselves standing in Joe Pyfer's range, trading shots in a fight they can't win.
When I'm done, I'm done. I'm not gonna be like, oh, how many do you think you have left? Fact. Less than 10. What? Less than 10 fights? Damn. You are? You surprised? Yeah, I thought it was like 4 or 5. I think you weren't gonna fight past 40. Well, I know that's still less than 10. less than 10. Less than 10, Cal. Okay. I thought it was a lot less. I don't know, 6, 7. Now, yeah, who knows? Like, I know it's less than 10. It can't be past 10. So if I fight now, fight one more time towards the end of the year, maybe. That's 2 fights. If I do 2 fights a year, fuck. Next year I can still fight. 2028 is where I'll be like, I don't know yet. I don't know. I can't see past 2027, but I do know 2028. I don't know. I don't think that far ahead at the moment, but I do glance at it, but I don't really try and focus on it. I just know I'm on the tail end. I can see the finish line. I've been seeing the finish line in the distance, but now it's closer. But who knows at what pace will I get there?
John Anik remains one of the few who still believes Izzy can turn it around. He argued that the Monday morning quarterbacking often overlooks how close these fights actually are. One well-placed strike could have changed the entire conversation about the Pyfer fight. Anik suggested that while the footwork might be slightly slower than in his prime, the fundamental understanding of the game is still there. However, even the most loyal supporters have to admit that the window of opportunity is closing fast. The sport moves on quickly, and the next generation of killers is always waiting in the wings.
However, Khamzat Chimaev stays humbled and downplayed any talk of greatness when compared to TJ Dillashaw and Demetrious Johnson, pointing out the difference in accomplishments.
Adesanya himself seems to be aware that the end is near. He recently admitted that he can see the finish line and that he has fewer than 10 fights left in his career. He doesn't see himself fighting past the year 2027, as he wants to exit the sport before he turns 40. While he isn't focusing on the exact date yet, he acknowledges that he is on the tail end of his journey. The pace at which he reaches that finish line will depend on his next few performances, but the clock is ticking. The legendary era of the Stylebender is entering its final and perhaps most difficult chapter.
The Chechen Wolf is putting a lot of effort in his training session, and he always does that, which is the reason behind his undefeated record in MMA.
Get up and get him! 8! Come on!
As the landscape of the UFC shifts, the warnings from legends like Demetrious Johnson serve as a reminder of the brutal nature of this business. Whether it's the terrifying rise of a machine like Khamzat Chimaev, or the heartbreaking decline of a great like Israel Adesanya, the sport never stops evolving. The intensity of Khamzat's camp has set a new bar for what it means to be a professional fighter, and the rest of the world is struggling to keep up. Only time will tell if Strickland can withstand the storm, or if we are witnessing the birth of a dominance that will redefine the middleweight division forever.